everyone, welcome back to this week's video. This week I am going to be talking about the 5 books that I am most excited about reading this fall. Now, these books necessarily have not been released in the fall of 2016, but these are books that I am hoping to get on my TBR at some point during the season and to read. So let's go ahead and get started. The first book is a book that was released this past summer, and it was written by my favorite author, Philippa Gregory. The book is called 3 Sisters, 3 Queens, and it is just a continuation of the story of King Henry VIII and all of the women that were ensnared in his web and in his life. And it talks from the point of 3 women, the first being Catherine of Aragon, who was his first wife. She was actually married to his brother Arthur, but then his brother Arthur passed away from an illness, so Catherine just moved on and married King Henry because she believed it was her destiny to be the Queen of England at some point in her life. The next 2 ladies' perspectives that the book follows are the King Henry's sisters, and that is Princess Mary Tudor and Princess Margaret Tudor. And all of these women, so Catherine of Aragon, Princess Mary Tudor, and Princess Catherine Tudor, all were, their lives were connected because of this one man, this one individual. And each of them became a queen of a country. So there's Queen of England, Queen of Scotland, and Queen of France. And it just talks about all of the drama and the craziness that comes with being the life of a royal in the 1500s, and it's just a historical fiction novel that I love, that genre, so I'm super excited to read this. Like you know, Philippa Gregory is my favorite author, and I've really been looking forward to reading this novel since I heard it was being released this year. The next book that I would love to read this fall is a book called Furthermore, and it is written by the author Tahereh Mafi. I believe that's how you pronounce her name, but I have been seeing this book all over YouTube and Goodreads and like any book place that recommends books. Basically, this book is a middle grade book, and that means it's for like a younger aged audience, like 12 to 16 I think is like the age that it targets. But I've heard incredible things about it from people like my age and not much younger than me, so I definitely want to give it a read. We follow the character Alice, who is 12 years old. She lives in a place called Farrenwood, and in this town everything is like super vibrant and colorful except for Alice. She herself is actually black and white, so she's void of color and she's void of magic, which is a big deal. It like really makes her stand out in this land that she lives in because everything else is like super vibrant and magical. Basically, she's like super close to her dad, and he ends up going missing, and she must go on a quest to find him. So she has to go to this land called Furthermore, and her only companion is a boy named Oliver, and from what I've heard, she really doesn't like him, but he becomes like the only person that she can rely on to help her find her beloved father, and she has to go on like a quest, and it's mystical and magical and adventurous, and I've heard nothing but good things about this book. Basically, she has to go on a quest to find her father, but along the way, she will discover things about herself that she didn't know, and it will help her discover the person that she truly is, whether or not she has color in her life, even if she is in black and white. I'm super pumped and excited to read this book, and if I read it in the fall, hopefully, which is my goal, I will definitely give you guys my thoughts about it, and yeah, be on the lookout for that. The next book that I am anticipating to read this fall is a book called Mist and Whispers, and that is from a new series that is called The Weaver's Riddle, and it was written by the author C.M. Lucas. And I actually got this book, I believe it was one of my like 99-cent books that I got off of, I think it was the Kindle store, Amazon or bookbub.com. I'm not entirely sure. I remember exactly where I got it, but I know I got it on like a super discounted price. And so I thought that I would definitely put this on my TBR list for the fall because it just sounds super magical and like mystical, and that's definitely the kind of thing that you want to read in the fall. We follow the main character Anya, who is a 16-year-old girl who does not have a mother, and she lives in this little like English British town, and there's this bookstore called Scott's Bookstore, and she loves this place, and she finds out one day that Scott's Bookstore is actually in danger of being shut down, and she believes that there are answers to like the disappearance of her mother and like questions she has about her mother at this bookstore. So she like becomes completely obsessed with wanting to make sure that she does everything in her power to keep this bookstore open. Basically, she wants to go on an adventure to be able to come to terms and with, you know, things in her past, and to answer questions that she has, and to be able to save this bookstore. And the only like clues that she has to go on are based off of an unknown author who goes by the name of the Weaver, and she has to follow these little clues, I guess, from what I understand, that will help her discover the answers to all of her questions. A whole bunch of magical things happen, and there's, you know, like mystical and magical and wonderful things that occur that change everything that she thought she might know about the world that she lives in. And so again, it seems like it's a super exciting, adventurous book that will take me into a whole new world, and I'm hoping that it will be like along the lines of, obviously it can't be another Harry Potter, but you know, the whole like magical fantastical world that J.K. Rowling creates. I'm hoping and anticipating that this new world will help me feel that same type of excitement as I felt the first time I was reading Harry Potter. The next book on my list is again another series that I'm hoping to start, and I'm really late to the game reading this series. The movie for the first book is actually coming out this month on the 30th of September, I believe, and that is Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom, and I hope I pronounced that right. Peregrine's Home? Peregrines? Yeah, anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, it's a book about this boy named Jacob who goes like to this island, I think, and he discovers this like abandoned school that was once for children that had unique abilities, and like he finds a picture or something that shows these different children, and a bunch of magical stuff happens. It's on a deserted island, and from the trailer that I saw for the movie, it basically reminded me of like X-Men, but for kids. Like no adults except for Mrs. Peregrine, I guess. So yeah, that's what it reminded me of. It kind of made me feel like X-Men-esque, and yeah, again, there's kind of a theme. If you see here, most of the books that I want to read have something to do with magic, mystical, people finding out who they really are, because that's what characters do in books. They start out as one thing, go on this adventure, and find out who they are based on the things they learn. So yeah, I'm really excited to read that. Yeah. All right, the last book on my list is the Throne of Glass series. Again, I'm super late to this like whole phenomenon that's been occurring all over BookTube and Goodreads and all of the reading community. Like everybody that I know and follow and watch on YouTube has already read this series. It's by Sarah J. Maas, and I have heard nothing but good things about it. People are like raving about it all the time. So I thought that I definitely need to like up my game and step up to the plate and get these books read. The final book that I would love to be able to read this fall is, again, from another series that has become incredibly popular, and that is the Throne of Glass series by the author Sarah J. Maas. I have seen this book, this series, all over YouTube, all over Goodreads, and I definitely thought that as a reader myself, I needed to step up to the plate and get on the reading train for these books. We follow the main character, who is 18-year-old Selena Sardothian. Sorry if I completely butcher that, but I'm guessing here on the pronunciation for this. She is an 18-year-old assassin who is being punished for some crimes that she committed. So she's working in these salt mines in the land of Endovier. And basically the prince of these lands, his name is Prince Dorian, he comes to her and says, okay, I'm looking for a new assassin. If you come and compete in these trials and win, then you get to leave the salt mines and you'll get to be my assassin for a period of 4 years. She has to come against these opponents that are men, like Rome men that are thieves, assassins, and warriors from across, like, I guess her whole empire. And they're each sponsored by a member of the king's council. If she beats her opponents in a series of eliminations, she'll serve the kingdom for 4 years and then she'll be granted her freedom. Basically, she kicks butt and she, I guess, becomes the court assassin, but she becomes bored with court life. But the prince, it says here, the prince starts to show interest in her. Ooh, romantic twist. That's always exciting in a book. But there's another man in her life that she feels understands her and knows her best, and that is the gruff Captain Westfall. And some death happens and some mystery happens and stuff gets all twisted, and so another contestant like turns up dead, followed by another person. So she has to find out who the person is that's killing all these people before she becomes a victim. And basically, again, it's a character going on search of her destiny, and it looks really good. It sounds super interesting, and I'm just very much looking forward to reading it. All right, you guys, that is it. Those are 5 books that I am anticipating to read this fall. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've read any of these books, if you liked them. If you didn't like them, I will still probably read them because I want to. So thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to pick up a book, immerse yourself, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!